folks, this is Norm the teacher again, and I want to do another video. And this video is going to be, I'm going to do a little bit of an analysis on ammunition and the amount of gunpowder that you put in ammunition, and what that has to do with power that you get. And the central theme of this video will be that just because you use more gunpowder for a given caliber, and in the case that I'm going to use here is .45 caliber, that does not necessarily mean you will get more power behind the bullet at greater speed with greater impact just because you have more gunpowder. A lot depends on the type of gun that you fire the ammunition out of. I'm going to show you something here. There's two different guns I have here. I'm filming with two cameras, so I kind of have to move things around here so that I can get everything. This is a 45, what's called a 45 long Colt gun. It's a revolver. And it shoots ammunition like this. This is called 45 long Colt. Actually, it's called 45 Colt. The long Colt is an incorrect designation, but a lot of people use it anyway. And this gun here is a slide action gun, and it shoots 45 ACP. ACP standing for automatic Colt pistol. Okay, notice the difference in the height between the two. The long Colt, I'll use the long Colt terminology because it's more descriptive. And then there's the 45 ACP. Now, what I did is I went out to the field and I fired both of these guns. This ammunition here, the 45 long Colt, was loaded with 6.2 grains of tight group gunpowder, which is this gunpowder right here. All right, and it 6.2 grains. This one was loaded with 4.9 grains of this very same gunpowder from the very same canister, very same lot. Now, even though the long Colt had more gunpowder in it, the 45 ACP fired more powerfully. And here's an illustration. Both were loaded for the same exact type of a bullet, a 230 grain bullet, which this is what the bullet looks like before it's fired into anything. Now with the 45, with the 1911 style slide action gun that I have there, these bullets flattened out like this. They were fired into the same target. They were fired into a target that was filled with sand. And it was faced with horse mat. Notice that the 4.9 grain bullet traveled at 850 feet per second. I had a chronograph that measured the speed of the bullet. Notice over here, the long Colt, it fired at 750 feet per second with 6.2 grains of gunpowder. So this had more gunpowder than this one, but notice it went 100 feet per second slower. And here's the result. Notice how the long Colt flattened out quite a bit. And notice how the, or not the long Colt, I'm sorry, the 45 ACP. This gun right here. It flattened out quite a bit. The long Colt only produced bullets that they started to flatten out, but not very much. This is what the bullet originally looked like, and this is what it looks like after being fired. There was not much deformation there, but you can see there was a lot of deformation with the 45 ACP. This gun. Now, why, and then I have some conical bullets up here also. just to show that the conical bullets, the cast conical bullets, did not flatten out like the hollow points. Now, the question is, why didn't the 6.2 grain powder charge 45 caliber bullet flatten out more than the 4.9 grain? It's the type of gun it was fired out of. One's a revolver, 6.2 grains powder charge. One's a 45 ACP, 4.9 grain powder charge. A grain, by the way, is 1/7,000th of a pound. Okay, we reloaders of ammunition, we're very familiar with the terminology of a grain. A grain is 1/7,000th of a pound. And so this ammunition here was loaded with 4.97 thousandths of a pound of gunpowder. Anyway, why didn't it shoot more powerfully? The 6.2 grain. Again, it's the type of gun. And I'll illustrate something here. Okay, I set this down. Notice with the revolver. Okay, yeah, I got to... Okay, I guess this will work. Both barrels, barrel length isn't much of an issue here. Barrel length between revolvers and slide action guns is measured differently. And I won't get into that. But from the tip of the bullet to the muzzle, both guns were about the same. There was only a ½ inch difference between the two. And for what I'm talking about, the tip of the bullet to the muzzle end of the gun is what's important right now. That's the distance that the gunpowder has a time to burn and build up pressure. So that's what's important right now. This gun, right here, this is a revolver. You'll notice that the ends of the bullets are right about here. With the long Colt. Here's the end of the barrel right here, and here's the end of the chamber or the cylinders. There's a gap there. It's only about 2 or 3 thousandths of an inch gap, but there's a lot of pressure that can escape out of there when you fire the gun. I have watched videos. Slow motion videos that show a revolver shooting, and it's so slow that you can actually see the bullet go out the barrel, and it actually goes out the barrel fairly slowly. You can actually see the thing spin and just slowly go along. Okay, that allows you to see also where gases escape. And there's a lot, that gap I just showed you between the cylinder and the breech end of the barrel allows a lot of gas to escape. You can actually see it escape on those slow motion videos. And it escapes fast. You don't want to have your hand there, by the way. That can injure your hand if your hand is by there. Because the pressures of these guns can get up, depending on what you're shooting, can get up to 30, 40, 50, sometimes 70, 80,000 pounds per square inch. Depends on if it's a revolver and the caliber and the gunpowder charge, the type of gunpowder, and whether it's a rifle or a barrel or a pistol. A lot of variables there. But big time PSI, pounds per square inch. Now on a slide action gun, 9 minutes here, so I got to kind of hurry up. On a slide action gun, from the end of the muzzle to where the bullet tip will be is right about here. And that's about the same distance as on the revolver. Now that's not officially how a barrel length is measured, but for what I'm talking about, that's the important measurement. So it's the same distance, pretty much, but when a round is chambered, there's no gap. This is all solid. This here is all connected to the barrel. This is the chamber area, and then it connects to the barrel here, and you can see it's sticking out right there. Right there. Okay, there's no cylinder barrel gap. And I think that's what caused the problem. Or not the problem, but the reason that the 6.2 grain powder charge that fired the bullet at 750 feet per second versus the 4.9 grain powder charge that fired the bullet at 850 feet per second, which is 100 feet per second faster, every 100 feet per second is about 70 miles an hour. And so these bullets here were hitting that sand target from 5 yards at 100 or at 70 miles per hour faster than these were. And you can see the difference that it makes. These didn't flatten out nearly as much as the other. And so that's what I wanted to cover in this video, was that just because you have more gunpowder doesn't mean you're going to get more power. You might even get less than some other gun that's firing with less gunpowder. And so I thought that would be an interesting fact to pass on to you. And I did 2 different sessions of here. I tell you what, so that you can get a screenshot. Here's some data I wrote on the 4.9 grain powder charge. Get my other camera here to get that also. You can freeze the frame so that you can read this. And then here is move this over a little bit. Here's the data that the write-up I did from 750 feet per second with 6.2 grains. You can freeze the frame. And now there is one little difference between these two. I fired the long Colt at 10 yards rather than 5. And I fired the ACP at 5 yards rather than 10. So there was a 5-yard difference, but I don't think it would make that big of a difference between the bullet looking like this and the bullet looking like that. It's that 100 feet per second slower traveling that produced one that looked like this, and 100 feet per second faster traveling that produced one like this. And they were both fired into the same exact target with the same exact sand. I catch all my bullets in a sand-filled target. Someday I'll do a video on the target and how I make those targets. But I've got, let's see here, I'm probably almost 11 minutes now, so this is going to be a 3-day upload. It takes every 5 minutes of video takes a full 24 hours for me to upload. I have crappy equipment to work with and service to work with, but at least I get them uploaded. So let's see here if there's anything else I should bring up. No, not right now. I can't think of anything. So goodbye. And I decided to wear my hat. I went to an NRA meeting. I got these stickers. Isn't that nice? And I got my NRA hat. I attended an NRA meeting where we discussed which candidates are going to be pro-Second Amendment and who to vote for. I suggest that you all find that out also and vote for your pro-Second Amendment candidates. Please do so that we can keep our guns and protect ourselves from horrible, horrible criminals. Unlike Canada, which at the timing of this date, or the timing of the making of this film, Trudeau has just outlawed all handguns in Canada. That's despicable. Okay, anyway, enough for my politician stuff that I'm talking about. We'll see you in the next video, and I'll give you a salute, and bye-bye.